And my name is Jay Rodriguez, and I work in the landscape department here at the Willows. And I wanted to explain the concept, what we're thinking about when we design the landscape here in this front area, which of course is part of our new parking structure. So we have our gates in front of me, and the first thing that people see as they drive through the gate is this retaining wall, which of course was necessary to build a parking lot behind it. And I wanted to mitigate that harsh vertical of the block and then the fence on top of it. So I chose trees that are California friendly, that are drought tolerant, and that scale-wise are really appropriate for the size of this space. So they certainly won't have the eventual height and width. They don't have them now, but these can get to about 25 feet tall. They can get 20 to 25 feet wide. We'll of course keep them more compact, but those will help along with the vine that we're going to be planting against the wall and the ground cover and some rock. I think that will help to mitigate the harshness of this entryway. And I think it will be really pleasing for people who come in here to see beautiful landscape instead of this block retaining wall. Hi, this tree is an Australian willow. It's not related to the weeping willow that people think about when they see in their mind's eye a willow, but this is Gigera parviflora. That's its botanical name. It's one of my favorite trees because it's just so disease resistant. It's so well behaved. The leaves drop straight down. It's easy to clean, easy to prune, easy to shape, and it grows to a height of about 25 to 30 feet, a width of 20 to 25 feet if you leave it unchecked, which we're not going to. We're going to be pruning it every other year to make sure that it has that billowy shape that we want and it stays in scale to everything around it. So Australian willow, Gigera parviflora, and we have 12 here along this planter, and it will be one of the first things, or if not the first thing, that people will see as they drive through the gates at the entrance. I'm standing in the parking lot, our new parking lot, and this of course is the entrance to our administration building. And what we plan on putting are 3 Italian cypress trees on both sides. But we're not going to be putting the Italian cypress that grow to a height of 60 to 80 feet tall. We're going to be putting in something called tiny towers Italian cypress. So they'll get to a height of 20, maybe 25 feet at maturity, which is exactly the right scale for the front of this building. And I think it will look just gorgeous walking through Italian cypress on both sides, and of course, lots of flowers in the planters as people enter. We have Japanese maples here. I think everybody loves Japanese maples. And so we have several varieties. And our thinking was that as we move through the ramp, up the ramp, we have this red dragon, Japanese maple, which stays rather low. Then we have this orangiola Japanese maple, which is just gorgeous, and it stays in a shrubby, compact form. And then we have a Japanese maple that's called a bloodgood. And this gets to be eventually 20, maybe 25 feet tall and 20 feet wide. Of course, we'll keep it contained as it matures. And then as we turn and move towards the administration building doors, we have another red dragon. We have another bloodgood. And then we have this magnificent specimen of a Japanese maple, Aoyagi. Jennifer will have that up on the website. You can look up the botanical names if you care to, but this, of course, is a great contrast to the bloodgood next to it, and it's going to fill this space up, gets to be about 20 feet tall and around 15 to 20 feet wide. And even when it loses its leaves, because Japanese maples are deciduous, they're not evergreen. So when it loses its leaves, it has like a lime green stem, which looks wonderful. And all the Japanese maples look wonderful, even without leaves. This tree is called a Podocarpus Icee blue. Now, this is one of my favorite trees too, because of its dramatic color. It's blue-green, and it's a moderate grower. And as you can see, we'll have one on one side of this light, one on the other. And then we're going to be putting Icee blues in between the windows here and in front of the posts on the other side of the administration building. And again, it's going to be breaking up that really harsh vertical, softening it up. So we'll install these, and then we'll have, of course, some lovely flowers underneath them. And when everything is planted out, it should just be wonderful.